First important is bronchiectasis. We see commonly in clinical practice. What are the clues to bronchiectasis from history? Yes, we know any patient who has excess sputum production, copious sputum production, with hemoptysis, recurrent respiratory infections, this gives a clue that it is bronchiectasis. Most common etiology, what you should ask is tuberculosis. Past history of tuberculosis. You should ask about past history of recurrent childhood infections which have damaged the cilia, and history of recurrent surgeries, intubations and aspirations. All are predisposing factors for bronchiectasis. With this idea in the history, it's very clear bronchiectasis, with there's a large amount of 1 cup full of sputum, mug full of sputum, very classical bronchiectasis. What are the important points in general examination you should target? We should look for clubbing and signs of respiratory failure along with cor pulmonale. So, that is for any chronic respiratory disease. Clubbing is very classical. Grade 3 clubbing is seen. What are the signs of respiratory failure? Could be type 1 or type 2. Type 3 and 4 is different. Type 1 is hypoxia, where the patient will have either severe hypoxia, the patient can have cyanosis. If it is type 2, hypoxia with hypercapnia. What are the signs of hypercapnia? Even in history itself, you can have a clue that the patient has recurrent confusion or feels drowsy. That means the patient could be having hypercapnia, type 2 respiratory failure. Two important signs is the pulse will be bounding and the patient will have asterexis. One of the respiratory causes for asterexis is type 2 respiratory failure. It is otherwise called negative myoclonus. Activation of the RAS, uninhibited activation of the reticular activating system, that causes asterexis. Cor pulmonale, definitely it's a basic thing, it's a right heart failure due to a chronic respiratory disease. The signs, what you specifically see is elevated JVP, and there could be advanced cardiac failure, there could be ascites and pedal edema. So, JVP will have specific waves if there is a cor pulmonale. Because of pulmonary hypertension, the patient can have prominent A wave. Then, chronic pulmonary hypertension, there can be a secondary tricuspid regurgitation. These are rare. We don't see in clinical practice. There could be B waves also, but what is classically seen is a A wave. History, general examination, very important. Bronchiectasis, we can have a clear clue from the history and general examination. What are important findings in inspection, palpation, percussion and auscultation? Mostly in inspection, palpation, percussion, nothing significant will be there if there is a bronchiectasis. What is a very classical sign is you get a coarse leathery crackles. This is the only important clinical sign, auscultation, coarse leathery crackles. In bronchiectasis, what are the causes of upper lobe bronchiectasis? Post-radiation fibrosis, cystic fibrosis, silicosis, TB. Lower lobe bronchiectasis, you get in chronic recurrent aspiration, end-stage fibrotic lung disease, recurrent immunodeficiency associated infections. Classically Pseudomonas and other gram-negative infections. It could be staph infections also. Immunodeficiency associated infections. Middle lobe bronchiectasis, a specific condition where you see in non-tuberculous mycobacteria. Dyskinetic immotile cilia syndrome, middle lobe bronchiectasis. What will be the chest X-ray in bronchiectasis? Tram track sign you get in cylindrical bronchiectasis, and it could be a gloved finger appearance of the dilated bronchi. This is what you see in chest X-ray. CT findings in bronchiectasis, you get signet ring sign, increased broncho-arterial ratio more than 1.5, bronchus visualized within 1 centimeter of pleural surface. These are the important CT findings in bronchiectasis. Signet ring signs, increased broncho-arterial ratio. Bronchus is usually visualized within 1 centimeter of the pleural surface. These are findings of CT findings of bronchiectasis.